Welcome to the Wally Show Aftercast, all the things we did not get to during the course of the show today. You are listening to the non-award-winning Wally Show podcast.
2 years in a row?
Yet again, we are the Susan Lucci of the CMB Momentum podcast. The first year we were up for a podcast award, it went to a show that has like people producing it and a lot of people, and they take time and they don't do a daily podcast. And so we're like, oh, okay, well, that was not even the same realm of what we do. So we're like, okay, that'll be whatever. And so this year they asked for a submission from us, and I assumed, because I was told,
fawn.
Yes,
like someone who keeps coming back to a relationship that's
an abusive relationship.
They broke up with us, and it was bad.
I know,
and we
so
just came back.
I sent stuff in because we were nominated, but I was told it was, a podcast that was an extension of your radio show. So I'm like, okay, good. So then I saw like the Corey Mann podcast and another couple people's podcasts. I'm like, okay, great. That's what it's supposed to be. And then I saw Scrooge. Scrooge was done by our podcast, by our company, by our own company, and it won.
You need to be careful.
Oh, no, I don't need to be careful. I'm furious. It was a great podcast. It has nowhere near the numbers that our podcast has, and we spent a bunch of money on it, and it took people
produced,
9 months to do.
Actors,
and
voicing.
it's got Sean Astin, and that's what wins. Like, great, it was well done. If it was in a category that was like, hey, best produced podcast, like all these other shows, absolutely. But extension of your radio show, absolutely not.
Yeah, you need two categories. That is the best fiction, best storytelling podcast, and best daily podcast.
Because did they do a good job with it? Absolutely. Did they spend a lot of time and money on it? Yeah. Absolutely.
And it shows.
Yeah, and so it's like, but it's apples to oranges. It's not, the two do not equate. And so what I learned from this is, until next year, is I'm out.
When your boyfriend comes back and said, but wait, it's me, not you. No, I'm sorry.
Hey, babe, please come back.
I had this realization. So CMB, if you don't know, it is a organization of radio broadcasters, and I've been a part of this for so many years. When I first got here, I was like, oh my gosh, all they do at this conference is do safe for the little ears content, and it's just geared towards that. And so I want nothing to do with it. But then, I wanted to change the industry. And Zach, back in the day, producer Zach, was like, well, if you want to change it, you've got to change it from the inside. You can't just be on the outside being counter or contrarian. You have to help change it from the inside. So I ingratiated myself with people. I invested time, and I wanted to help out and make the format better. And then
all I can hear is a girlfriend that's like,
wounded.
But I invested my time.
I did.
Listened to him. I gave him what he wanted.
I can change him.
I know. That was it. And so then this was just the capper.
You can't fix them, you know?
Well, I mean, honestly, so this year, I was on no panels, and I've never got to headline with a presentation, the main thing. And so
this is like he went to a party and didn't want to be seen with you, but he wanted you there.
Exactly.
So you couldn't be on his arm.
Right. I'm arm candy. Embarrassed of me is probably more like it. Because Mirica from Vita, who we also own, Vita is a big deal inside of our company, and they're like, it's the first Spanish radio network. And so everyone's geeked about it. And so here's a lady that they put up on she is big on television. She does have a huge following on television.
Is she?
Oh, yeah. I guess inside of, the Latin culture, she has a thing. But she's been on radio for all of months, and she gets the keynote thing, And I'm just
like... So your boyfriend got...
Yeah.
He was like, I like this new girl.
It's all bitter party of one. 100%. I will 1,000,000% cop to that and admit it. But it is for that reason that I'm just like, I am just done. With that organization.
I get it. To some degree, they keep asking you to.
Yeah, they want me to invest in college kids. They bring college kids here, and I go and do the college things, but I don't get to do the thing in front of actual broadcasters that are working and that maybe I could have an impact on. And it's like, no, do this. It's the B stage of a concert, And so I think Not, I mean, it's bothered me, but I really did just come to that realization more than anything. I will never be able to change anything.
You can't change them.
No, I can't. They're just gonna replicate the same stuff. It's the same people, and so for that reason, Shark Tank, I'm out.
Do you think that why do you think you've never been invited to be
because
a breakout session or a
I've been on the outside and I say things that people that don't fit the narrative of what that world is, and I contend that the way that I have done this and the way that we've done this for all these years is better, and it makes a bigger difference. It makes a bigger impact. It's not saccharine sweet sugar nonsense, and so I've always been on the outside with that. And I don't know, maybe, and all of that to say, there are a couple women inside of Momentum, like CMB, that I love, that are very supportive, but it's just never, there's, I guess, not enough. Like, there's this lady, Beth Bacall, who's one of the nicest people. She works for the Fish in Atlanta, and she's smart, she's talented, and she's been so kind to me, and she was trying to help me break into that world, and I just haven't been able to do it. I don't know why.
You know what? Don't look down on yourself, okay? Because it's his problem.
Oh, it's not me, it's them.
Yeah, totally. Okay?
So anyway,
so don't you downplay yourself, girl.
But here's the frustrating thing. I'm at an event with fellow radio people. And this is not a brag thing, but I have radio people coming up to me going, "Oh my gosh, we watch all of your stuff so we get ideas." I have radio people wanting to take pictures with me as a peer, because of what we do, but I can't get that recognition inside of the industry or from the main industry people,
I bet this is how Beyonce feels with Jay-Z, because he cheated on her and she's like, "I'm Beyonce."
Right.
You are Beyonce.
I am Beyonce. Yes, thank you.
I am.
Yes.
And yet still, you can't keep your man true.
I know.
He's always looking at others.
I know.
I will say, so I think that there were a few interesting elements of this award show, which was the last night of our conference.
Yeah.
Where before the show had started, we knew that our show was up for an award, that a Scrooge was up for it, and then for a major market award, our sister station, KSBJ,
and they won.
Was up for it, and they won, which is
good on them.
Congrats to them.
Yeah,
good job. But before all of that, one of our bosses came over and said, "Hey, whoever wins, we think everyone should go up on to the stage."
And I'm like, absolutely not.
Accept it. So inherently, to go up, there's nothing right about us going up on stage for another radio station, even if they are in our company. Congrats to them.
I had nothing to do with it.
But then at one point, I think that there's that whole notion that if Scrooge had won,
right,
that they were like, "Oh, you should go up for that,"
right,
which is inherently hilarious because that's our competition,
right, in that award, yeah.
But then it was interesting to think that everybody else probably would have gone up on stage.
I know. And again, to me, that's disrespectful. I know that it's like, oh, we're a team and a big family, but it's like, no, you did nothing to work on this, so you shouldn't be there. I did nothing actually, I did more for the Scrooge podcast. I had 2 bonus episodes on the Scrooge podcast.
You should have gone up
Zach
there.
told me, he goes, "You should have gone up there because you had the 2 podcasts and they were actually well listened to." But I'm like, I didn't feel like I was part of that project. Honestly, I got thrown at the end in the end to do that, and I did it as a favor to Zach.
Don't get caught in your feelings.
I didn't want to do it. I know. I sound like a teenage girl right now.
Okay.
You're like a sarcastic psychologist over here.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But I didn't want it. But out of respect, I wasn't going to go up there because I didn't do it.
Yeah.
Out of respect for KSBJ, I have nothing to do with them.
Because we can cheer them on.
Yes, 100%. I shouldn't be up there being looking like I had something to do with it.
I went through the rest this last weekend wondering if that 2 people didn't look as great to not be up there for some of those things.
Right.
They're like, "Oh, we're taking a picture with the award," and everyone come over, let's take it. And then not going up. In my head, I was like, man, is that going to be something where they're going to look back and say, "Oh, this is not a team player for not going up." But in my head, the way to be that is not a qualification in my mind for being a team player, because it's I can cheer this on, but I did worry as the weekend went on for not going up in some ways in terms of appearance.
If they had said, "Let's all go up," and then only 2 people went up that might be more noticed, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, there were 10 people on that stage from our company that were sitting somewhere else. All of them up there, all of them having nothing to do with it.
And the tables that we were at, I'd say that most of there was a fair amount of other Way FM people that also didn't.
Exactly. Our people,
not everyone. Yeah. Like, we were part of the other half that just said that's not our place.
Yeah, when I first saw that text, I thought that was weird. Like, say we had won, and it's like a lot of people that have nothing to do with what we do every day, like, oh, we're up here too. It's like it's just weird. It's like, let the people that work on something that have their moment. And for me, it was respect. You get to have your moment. Congratulations. They did a good job with it. KSBJ, great job. You won a big award. That's awesome because you worked hard. That's your moment. For me to be there, even though we're owned by the same parent thing, it's just we're still two different independent identities, and so I think it's disrespectful
for KSBJ.
Right? Yeah, it would be disrespectful. But other people, bosses, see it as unity because they so badly want that, whereas I still see it as I think it's disrespectful. You know. So anyway, what you missed though, Betty Rock this year. Oh, why are you going like this? What are you thinking she missed?
I thought you were going to explain what you were going to do if we had one.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I think you had mentioned wanting to talk about that.
I do. There was something else I want to talk about, too.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so I am thinking of, like, okay, if we do win, what do I want to do? Because I don't want to just go up there and give a thank you speech. So my plan was, and I told Gavin, I said, okay, be ready to film this. So I'm going to go up there.
Which is a scary.
Yeah, and I'm gonna go up there and I'm gonna say, hey, real quick, before I get into this, one of the members of the show, the founding member of the show, and one of the people who I love more than anybody else on this planet is not here tonight. She's amazing. She's talented. She's the reason that we've been so successful, and I want to just make her feel good tonight, where she can't be here and share this with us. And so what I want to do is I'm gonna start giving my acceptance speech, and I'm gonna say, hey, I'd just like to thank you for this award. Now, when I say award, I want you all to go, hey, where's Betty? Okay, so I'm going to go, okay, we'll play it out, Gavin. Like, you be the audience for me, okay? Hey, I just want to thank everybody for this award.
Hey, where's Betty?
I'm sorry, what?
Where's Betty?
Oh, rehab. And we... and that was my big plan. And my wife said...
And you wonder why you're not part of everything.
Exactly. My wife said, that's probably why you didn't win.
Yeah.
But I'll take that all day long. I will take the humor over that and the stuffiness all day long. No, the thing I wanted to say that you missed, thank you for reminding me of that, Gavin, was Gavin on the Velocicoaster. No. You did not. Betty Rock does not ride rides. This is one of the best but scary roller coasters in the world. It's fantastic. Gavin is nervous the entire time walking through the line.
I'm surprised you did it, Gavin.
Yeah,
he had to.
Me too.
Yeah. He had to. Yeah,
I think
he
had
to. Yeah.
What, there was like you made him do it?
Pretty much. There was a point. Well, there was a point at which.
Did you go to the bathroom before you went on?
No, but I was dehydrated on the day, so we were.
There was a point, though. We were waiting in line. You know how, like, when you're waiting in a queue, then all of a sudden the line moves?
Yeah.
And I'm like, Gavin, come on, let's go. And it was because he was reading all of the danger warnings on the sign.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
And he brings up high blood pressure. So let me let you into my mindset of this, because I'm pushing the kid to do this, because I'm like, I know it's good for him. It's fun. He'll have a good time. It's manning up. It's great, okay? It's not cicadas.
And you didn't want to sit next to a stranger. You wanted to sit next to him.
Yeah, I did. I wanted to share this moment with him.
And so, time.
But at one point in time, I thought, because he mentioned his high blood pressure, I thought, oh my gosh, that'd be horrible if this kills him. And
see, that's the thing you don't think about.
I
you
did.
Just pressure someone, and then as they're dying, the last thing they hear is you going, "Listen, you can't blame me. I didn't think about.
I know,
this.
but I thought about it in advance, and I said to him, "Hey, you don't have to do this if you don't want to. You can just jump out of line. It's not a problem."
He did say that way. After 30 or 40 minutes of being in the line.
Yeah. I didn't want to wait alone. And so
selfish.
I know. And so, so I'm like, yeah, you can jump out. Because all I pictured was like him dying on this ride and me having to explain to his widow and the mother of his child that I pushed him into riding this ride and it killed the little guy.
He died on the Velocicoaster.
I know. So
he's the most recent kill of Jurassic
Yeah,
Park.
yes.
Dinosaur got him.
So
I wish inherently that when we talk about me, like, oh, this kid and this kid,
yeah,
and it's like I turn like 30 next year. Like I'm not an actual child.
But I'm older
also
than you.
Mentally, I don't think it's an inaccurate statement.
So we get on the ride. This is a ride that you have to take all your stuff out of your pockets. They metal detect you to make sure you have nothing in your pockets.
Pretty serious.
Because it's a wild ride. You're upside down a lot. It spins around a lot. It's great.
Your wife and I last year, we just stood there and watched, and it was
yeah. So we get on there, and that's almost the sound he made. So we get on there, and we're about to get on, and he goes, I might throw up. And the people like that are behind us go, you better not. You better not. If you do, look right. And so we get on the ride. They pull you back to launch you out.
And I will say, though, that, too, when we were getting into we're getting near the end of the line to get on the roller coaster, they, let the batch of people go, and they stop Wally and I.
Oh, yeah.
So that when we go out next, the fate of the scenario is that we are going to be
on the front car.
Front of the roller coaster.
I could not have been happier. I'm like, oh my gosh, Gavin, this is great. We're the front car because this has a drop that as you come over the top, you see the track go behind you. It's not 90, it's over 90 degrees. And so I'm like, this is so great. So they pull us back to launch us, and all of a sudden I just hear,
Did you throw up?
He is dry heaving. Gavin is dry heaving.
I would too.
So then they launch us off. You're like, he's screaming, obviously. And then we go through a couple turns, and then they go to launch us again, and I just hear, he dry heaved twice on the ride. And at some point in time, I'm like, this is great, this is great. It goes eerily silent. Because he goes from like yelling and stuff like that to total quiet. And I have to literally go, Gavin, are you all right? I'm good. I thought you had passed out.
I was definitely like actively trying to hold back more dry heaving because we hadn't had dinner. We didn't.
It's probably a good thing.
It was I think if there had been food in my stomach, we would have been. We would have all been a mess.
It's a great ride.
Would you do it again?
I think I would.
Now you know what to expect.
Yeah, I think that.
Is that your first time on a coaster?
No, but it's the biggest one I've ever been on.
It is a really good coaster. I mean, it's good.
Well, by good you mean bad.
It's big.
Because before that, we rode the Harry Potter like motorcycle one with a motorcycle and a sidecar. Mm-hmm. It's really good too.
Yeah.
Like I thought it was gonna be more like a kid ride.
Did he dry heave on that one?
He did not. I don't think you did.
I actually did at one
point. You
point.
did? Okay, good.
I think it was just that.
That's like for kids.
And that one was that one I can't really explain away that one. This last one though, it was absolutely terrifying, and there's just enough room in between you and the thing holding you in that as you're going up,
you keep coming up out of the seat,
a little bit up and out of your seat, and I was in my head, you almost accept like this is where I like fly off the coaster.
You have to get on every roller coaster that's a scary one going. If I die today, I'm okay. I'm going to see Jesus, and this is okay. If I come out of this thing, it's going to hurt, but only for a second.
If you're responsible for my death, Wally, I will be so livid. I will haunt you. I will beg Jesus to let me haunt you.
He might let it happen.
Have you ever done a roller coaster before?
Yes.
You have? Which one?
Okay, so one of the first ones I went on was called the Hangman, and it was in
like a good
Opryland. Back when Opryland
You went
was
to Opryland?
Yes, I went for a birthday party, and I rode it, and I remember my foot hitting one of the bars as we're going like really fast.
What?
Okay. Yeah, it hit one of the bars. Freaked me out, okay? So then another one I went on was Tomb Raider. I think that was at Kentucky.
That sounds like
not
Universe.
Kentucky Kingdom. I don't remember what it was called. Anyway,
Six Flags?
No, but I was waiting in line. And we waited for probably an hour and a half, and then we get in, and they call it a simulator ride. Okay, so I thought it's just me sitting in a little seat that's going to rumble back and forth, and there's a TV screen in front of me. Heck yeah, I can do that. I'm not scared of that. We get in, and it's bleacher, like stadium type seating. So we go up a set of stairs, we get into a seat, and a thing comes over our shoulders, and I'm like, well, maybe it really does, Joe. I don't know. Then there's a zip compartment in the front. And they're like, please make sure you put all your belongings in the zip compartment. I'm like, wow, this is really going to get pretty crazy, huh? Then all of a sudden, the lights go out. The stairs that we took to get up into our seats are gone. Yeah. And they raise those bleachers up, and we flip upside down and then start spinning, okay? And then they hang us upside down, and it looks like there's fire underneath us, and they're spitting water in our faces. So I just remember I couldn't breathe. I couldn't scream either. I was just going, breathe, breathe. Like, it was so bad.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I hated every minute of it. I am not a roller coaster person. It's not for lack of trying. I hate it.
Yeah.
I think it's a really fun thing to do with people. Like I think it'd be fun on your own per se.
Yeah.
And
But
I
it's
guess there was no video, was there?
No. You had to take your phones out.
Yeah,
Like, you couldn't bring anything.
Video, though.
I should have stuck around to check out, but I want to say on the Harry Potter ride when you can see the flashes of where they take the picture at one point. I'm pretty sure at the moment of the camera going off, I think I was dry heaving, and so I think that I was probably kind of like.
It's funny.
So it would have
Classic waffle puffle,
Yeah.
right?
that would have been a great GoPro thing to have for the Velocicoaster.
I know.
The one twist where they throw you upside down and you're 30 feet above the water.
Yeah.
Like I thought I was gone.
Yeah. That's really good. Yeah, it's a great coaster.
I do. Yeah. I don't actively enjoy them per se
No,
anymore
I
as
hate
much as I
them.
used to, but it still is a fun
Not my
experience.
Oh man. You know what? I've got one that's gonna take more time to deal with, and it's like a serious one. So let's just skip to yours.
Okay. I've got a new thing called no launching. Not no lunching, no launching.
LAN or LAU?
LAU.
Like failure to launch.
Yes, so no launch. So this is a new viral sensation that's going around on social media. I guess a non-viral because it involves you being in a relationship and not making a big deal out of it. So
Hey,
you're not,
how about that's a great idea? Because no one cares about your relationship.
It's the thing that we did for how many years before Facebook showed up?
In a relationship.
Yeah.
Ugh.
But they're saying now people are saying, well, we're just not going to let people know about it. But some have different they have a different way of looking at it. Some are saying, are you not posting about your relationship because you are ashamed of it or you're being deceitful?
Or
like
secretive,
you're
yeah.
cheating? Yeah, but other people are saying the reason that they do a no launch on their relationships is because it could be due to pressure from family on getting married. It could be a disapproval from loved ones or public scrutiny. And honestly, once you post on social media, your friends are going to want to know updates. You're just welcoming more people into the relationship. So why not just keep it to yourself? Keep those things private and just let it be.
I mean, that's the thing. We've gotten conditioned to where we have to share every part of our lives with everybody online, and it really doesn't matter. Like, I mean, if I was in a relationship with someone and they kept hounding me, well, when are you going to post about it? When are you going to post about it? I watched that on 90 Day Fiancé. There's this one, Sarper, and the lady, she wanted him to post, and he was like this workout guy and a gym rat and stuff.
Is he for real? Like, is he a real person?
Oh yeah, he's real.
It's not like the Williams.
No, not like the Williams. No, this is a real guy,
Or
and like
Michael.
But he has all these women clients and things like that. So I don't think he wanted people to know he was in a relationship.
Oh,
yeah, and
it's
stuff.
bad for business.
Yeah, exactly. And so she's hounding him, and finally he's like, "Look, babe, I did this for you." He's Moldovan. He's like, "Look, I did this," and like it's like. Some like really weak post, and then she's mad about that. But it's like if that's the nature of your relationship that you have to proclaim it to the world, that to me is a red flag. Like to me, it's like just be in it, just do. You know, and who cares what everyone else thinks? You have your friends that are close to you that you want to share that with, and you tell them, hey, I'm dating somebody now. You know, but I mean, I don't understand this idea that it's got to be public. Lisa Turkers had an interesting thing when she was talking about going through a hard time and a struggle in her marriage, and that there was a difference between what you say privacy and secrecy. I thought that was a really good distinction, especially from her, because there was infidelity on her husband's part, and there's that element to hide it or whatever, and secrecy is about shame. Privacy is about healing, and you need that to heal. And I thought that was a really good distinction from her. And I think I pulled some stuff from her thing at that conference that I complained about at the beginning. She was great, but she's not a radio person. She was amazing, dynamic. She cried a little. She was so good. We've had her on the show before. Really love and respect her. And so we're going to do some things from that I pulled out and was like, oh, this would be good for a subject and stuff like that. Now, Betty Lou, you are not in a relationship currently. You will be someday when the time is right and when you're ready.
Am I?
I know. You dated somebody while we worked together and you never told me, and I was really upset by that. I was hurt by that. But anyway.
That doesn't matter.
She could be dating right now.
I get it from back then. I don't get it now. Now I would be crushed. I would literally be crushed if you didn't
if she
tell
came
me.
in with like a ring on her.
Yes, yeah. She's got a baby. Like, what happened? I would.
You didn't have to take time off. What
yeah, exactly.
You look the same.
I would literally be crushed if you were dating somebody and didn't tell me now. Like in the past, I understand that. Like, as I was challenging to deal with it sometimes, and I didn't know boundaries, and so. But now it would hurt me. Just so you know.
Okay.
Get forewarned.
So you're welcoming yourself into any relationship I form with
Absolutely.
another. Okay.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm going to have to know about
healthy.
If I'm walking you down the aisle, I'm going to have to know about it so that I can prepare for when I'm doing the ceremony then. So then I've got to know the story. I got to be able to tell the funny story.
Okay.
Would you
the
be
magic.
Would you be like not?
Yeah, let Danny walk you down. Let me do this. Let me do the wedding. That's a good compromise.
No.
All right, then I'll walk you down and he does the wedding. It's fine.
Would you have some hesitation to announce it, even to us?
Hesitation that I'm dating someone?
Yeah, if you were dating someone, just because obviously there'd be a lot of.
How many dates would you go on before you told us?
Yeah, because there'd be commentary, there'd be questions.
I don't know if it's about the number of dates. It's about
the closeness.
If we're on the same page.
Sure.
Me
fair.
and that person are on the same
sure.
page. Because if we're not, then I don't know if I'd really want to bring it up until I knew for sure that he was.
It's like when people are pregnant and they tell you don't tell anyone till after the 12th week because there's such a high risk of miscarriage. And I get that. And so for you, I would understand. Like if you were trying to gauge something, because there would be a lot of questions, not out of nosiness, but out of just genuine concern and excitement
wanting
for you.
to know the person.
Yeah, absolutely. And so if you're not sure yet, I could definitely see that. I think an acceptable amount.
Even then, though, I don't know if I'd want to, because let's say we break up and then you two think that it wasn't a good enough reason to break up. Then you're going to make me
that means you broke up with him?
everything.
Oh, no. But if he hurt you, I'd murder him.
But what if he didn't? What if
I'd
I'm just like,
murder.
it was just a red flag that I saw as a problem. And
you know what?
would have been like, listen, it's just a tiger.
Right.
It's not a big deal.
Yeah, just marry him anyway. So he owns a tiger. What's the big deal?
Then now I'm like, no,
We
y'all
can
might
pet
just
it.
not know I'm married until I'm dead.
I know. There is part of me that would think that. Who's this guy that keeps picking her up from work? I don't know. It's an Uber driver.
Roommate? I don't
Yeah, roommate.
Long term. That is interesting, though. I
think 4 dates. If you go on 4 dates, you should have to tell me at that point after that. I just think that's my rule.
And you wonder why I don't want you involved.
That's my rule. No.
Because you have so many opinions about everything.
Because I want to enjoy it with you. I want to cheer you on. I want to girl talk with you.
Shouldn't the other person involved want to girl talk with you?
Yes.
Like you can't push yourself into a girl talk conversation.
I could girl talk.
Yeah.
I would.
We both could. We would be
could
great for you.
Yeah. I think that we'd have a lot of fun.
Plus, we'd still have guy insights. We'd still have guy insights for you. Yeah. I mean,
I totally would understand. Yeah. Like you waiting a good chunk of time to explain it.
Sure.
I think that, I think it would hurt to get really far into it and us just all of a sudden know and have missed out on getting to hear story. But
I know. I would be wounded. Because I want to know.
You're wounded little fuck.
I know. I want to celebrate with you.
Because whether or not, because at the end of the day, we in this room spend the most amount of time with you. I spend more time with you guys than I do with my wife in terms of on the daily, because she gets home later than I do.
Right, I get
it. It would be.
That's so sad.
Cool. A betrayal. If you,
not sad.
I would see it as a betrayal. Yeah, I would see it as a betrayal. I'm more dramatic than you. And I've known her longer. I've walked through everything with Rock. I have known Rock since she was 21 years old. I have walked through the biggest portion of her life.
For sure.
Whether
with her.
I wanted him to or not.
Absolutely. I have always been there for you. I've been there for you in good times. I've been there for you in bad times.
To be there or not,
he
would push his way
I
in.
know. I have always been there for you. I've always had your best interest at heart. I have always tried to help you. Sometimes, I push, but I've always tried to help you. I think I would be a little crushed.
Like, I'm really into this thing called boundary.
Right,
no,
right.
She loves boundaries.
I'm inside your boundaries too. I get it. We need to have boundaries and keep other people out. I get that. Yes.
Me.
Yes. We should have boundaries. Absolutely. We don't need Phil the engineer coming in here and knowing our business.
Oh my God.
It's not time for him to know yet. He's a great guy,
Wow.
but we'll tell him when it's time.
Okay, can we move on to birthdays?
Yes, we can.
Okay, great.
Catch up.
Miriam wants to wish her sister Jane a happy birthday. Happy birthday,
Yeah, Jane!
Jane is
You're
the
older.
sweetest person you could ever know. She always goes above and beyond to make those around her feel special. Well, Miriam, I hope that Jane doesn't push you into creating boundaries.
It's just because she cares. That's all.
And
Caring
then
is sharing.
Right.
Trish and Alan want to wish their daughter Rain a happy birthday.
Oh, that's a cool name.
She is a theater kid.
Oh, nice.
Uh-oh. She will drain
Hey.
you dry.
Hey.
Financially, emotionally.
Haley's doing great these days. As long as they're not selling seashells.
Oh, yeah.
Crab shells.
Hermit crab
Hermit-
shells,
okay.
yeah. Said that she is a theater kid and she loves singing, ballet, and playing ukulele, guitar, and piano. She's a potty and listens every day. She
Nice.
hopes she can meet you guys one day.
We're
we
always
hope
here.
that too, Rain. That
Come
would
on.
be awesome. The question that we have from Trish and Alan, what app do you wish existed?
Oh, my.
After you.
I have
time
one.
to-
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Mine would be an app that would tell me if anyone was going to be where I'm planning on running errands to.
Anyone you don't want to run into?
No, just people
Oh.
in general. So that if there are people there that I do want to see, great. I can be prepared and get excited. If there are people there that I don't want to see, I can just
Fascinating.
wait a while until they leave
Yeah.
and then go.
Either aids and abets in your
Yeah,
non-socializing.
right. It can help or it can hinder. Yeah.
Kind of like a GPS that'll tell you the speed checks ahead.
Yeah,
It'd be
kind of like that.
It'd be
And they kind of already have an app like Life
Life
360 that's
360,
kind of
right.
like that, but you have to have permission.
Right.
Like they have to give you permission. It's
Right.
called a boundary.
And the people that
And
you
they-
don't want to see, you don't want to ask their permission. So
Right.
you just don't want to not. You want to make sure
but
you don't see them.
I just want to know
So
where
you-
the people
yeah,
are.
every time you're with your secretive boyfriend you don't want.
Yes.
You're checking, make sure Wally's
get
not
it.
there.
Right.
Make sure
Yes.
Wally and Gavin aren't anywhere
You
near.
get it.
Yeah.
You get it.
That's a good one.
interesting-
I could see that
Yeah.
one. Huh. I'm not sure. I don't think I have anything better than that
Yeah, I don't know.
because that's really unique.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Or one that's like turns the flashlight of your phone into a red light, because I've heard that those red lights can help with anti-aging.
Oh,
So
really?
if I just took my phone and made it shine on my face.
Yeah.
and just,
That'd be a good idea. Or turned it into a laser beam
What if
where
we
you could cut things.
like if we could, it'd make it
Oh.
like your phone a pocket knife. That'd be cool.
I think I'd want an app that helped me make and I know I have the Bible, but I would want an app that helps me make the absolute right ethical choice, or that creates the best outcome for me
Like you
in
have
a situation.
not a magic 8-ball.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But you're like, listen, Haley's asking me if she looks big in these jeans. And while I know I should tell her the truth,
Yeah.
I know that I won't get dinner tonight and I'll
Yeah.
have to sleep on the couch. So, Mr. App, can you tell me what I should do? And they
Or-
would say, well, the ethical thing
Yeah.
to do is
or
to,
or something that just does probability. So I would say, hey, so and so asked me to be a groomsman in the wedding. What happens if I just what could and might happen if I said no?
Ugh.
Which is obviously I wouldn't do
and
that.
then if I say yes, how much money am I going to spend?
That, and like if I say no, will I lose this person? Will I blank? And maybe it comes up with a good lie for me, which is a bad thing to say. And that goes against the
Interesting.
ethical thing I said earlier.
That's
I think
interesting.
if I was to have an app, I would want it to be an app that had, the function. You know how you have the vibrate function in your phone, the haptics, they call it. I would like to have a app that when my wife held it and I said, hey, where would you like to go to lunch? And she goes, I don't care. Where would you like to go? And then I say where I'd like to go. And she goes, no, I would like that to shock her, like shock her hand,
You could-
like with the same hit of a stun gun, honestly. Like,
it happens that often, huh?
yeah, does a lot.
then
It
why
causes
does
her
she-
pain. You want it to cause?
Listen, she would learn a lesson.
She would feel my pain then.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, why does
She'd only have to do it once.
Her why she does this to you?
I couldn't tell you. I don't know.
Y'all don't have that conversation?
We do. I say, why? Why do you do this? And she's like, well, because she always has a different reason for not wanting something that I could never see coming.
So
let me give you an example.
She knows what she doesn't want, but she doesn't know what she does want.
Let me give you an example. So we're coming home from our trip, and she's like, what would you like to eat? You know, we've been eating out this whole time. I know we've had burgers and things like that. So, and she had mentioned earlier in the week, she was like, oh, Kentucky Fried Chicken sounds good. So to me, I file that away as a guy, pull that out when I can use it, and I go, hey, you know what? I just thought of this. We can go to Kentucky Fried Chicken. Oh, what do you mean? Oh, you like literally 3 days ago, you were like, oh, that would be so good. But this was her mindset. So we're going to start Weight Watchers. We started back today. And she's like, I know exactly how many points a piece of chicken is from what's its name. So I want to wait and have that on a day when I'm counting. Today's the day before that. I'm not counting, so I want a hamburger from Five Guys. How could I ever have, or not Five Guys, Shake Shack. How could I ever have possibly figured out that in that noodle? There's no way. There's no way I could have known that. To me,
and
I'm
she
like,
could have said, hey, what do you want? By the way, before you answer, this is what I'm thinking about.
Yeah.
Like, I'm thinking about points-wise before
some information would have helped me out there.
Instead of just free will.
And what's funny, though, is because I go, wow. I said, okay, this is why I'm adopting a new strategy. And she's like, well, just tell me where you want to go. I said, no. I'm not doing that ever again. I said, I'm going to dedicate the rest of my life to just making you happy and doing whatever you want to do. She's like, well, that's not good. That's not what I want. I'm like, it sounds like that's what you want. And she's like, no, I don't want that. I said, honey, this is so much better. Like, if I just give you what you want, you're going to be happier all the time. If you're happy, then I'm happy. You know, like you'll be good to me in other ways and stuff. So it's like this is a good thing. And because it's stuff that I don't truly care too much about. And so from now on, just you tell me anything you want, and it's like a yes day every day for you. Like, let's do that.
Was she okay with that?
No, and that's the irony. No. Who gets a yes day every day and it's still not enough?
You can't win.
I would love that.
Yeah, you would. Exactly, you
great.
would.
Today we're going to Chick-fil-A.
Yes.
Tomorrow we're going to go to Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Exactly.
And then...
Yeah, it's like, it's so easy. It's so easy.
But I think
it's fall off a log easy.
From a woman's perspective, she probably wants you to be involved. She doesn't want to feel like she's making you do something. However, she wants you to like what she likes.
Right. Yeah. She's like, well, I don't want to make all the decisions. I'm like, yeah, you do.
Well, but you are.
You are. Yeah. So, like, why don't we just live in that world? Like, where it's like, it's okay. I'm not even mad. Like, I know my tone sounds bad, but I'm like, if we had this conversation maybe a month ago, I probably would have been mad. But like, I've just hit a different space in the relationship, you know, after 31 years.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, it's fine. Yeah. It's okay.
I could see where that would get
yeah.
frustrating.
I mean, I want you to be happy. If you're happy, I mean, honestly, my life is better. And so things that I don't matter, like I'll fight for things that do matter, but things that really don't matter to me much, it's fine.
I find a lot of joy in Haley choosing when she comes up to me and says, I really want to do this today. And I'm sweet. Like, I'm more interested in doing something if you're going to come to me and say that you want to do that thing or go eat there, aside from us sitting there and me going, so like, where should we go? And us debating over, like, I would rather a day. I love if it's after church and she's like, I really want to go get a burger.
Let's go.
I'm like, sweet.
Anywhere you want to go.
All of a sudden, I want burgers too.
I want them all. I'll have 3. You know,
I'm not pick, but my thing is too is that I personally don't care what we eat.
I can find something to eat most places, and I'm like, that's fine.
Let's go through a hypothetical scenario.
Okay, we got to do it quick. We're at 38 minutes.
All right, we go to sit in the car. It's after church.
Yeah,
and you're not meeting any friends.
Nope.
Okay, it's just you and Marty. I'm gonna play Marty's part.
Okay.
All right. Well, where do you want, babe?
Babe. You gotta do the voice.
Babe.
Where do you want to go?
I don't know. Where do you want to go? This is how it goes.
Oh, I don't care. I just want to go wherever you want to go.
Okay, well, I've been to this rodeo before, and I will throw out some things, and you won't want any of them. So why don't you just save us all a little bit of time and just tell me what you'd like? And I'm 100% good with that.
Oh, but that makes me feel bad because I just want you to be happy.
Yeah, well, you're sucking the soul out of me right now. So why don't you just tell me?
Here's what you need to do, and I think I've told you this hint before because this is what I do with my friends.
I've tried this.
Can't make decisions.
Yes.
Say name 3 places.
Oh, I've tried something different than that. Go ahead. Yeah.
Oh, well, me, especially my friend Dina, her and I can't make decisions.
Right.
And I want her to like wherever we're going to go.
Right.
So if she names off one place, I might not like it. Like Tazuki's, I'll be like, ugh. So I'll say, okay, I'll name off 3 places and you choose from those 3.
Exactly.
And she loves that.
Yeah.
And I love it too. When she gives me 3 places, I'm like, great, I want that one. Because I know that whichever 3 I choose, she'll be happy with either one because she suggested it.
I've done that with 3 choices and came back with none of them.
And that's a funny thing too, because Marty is difficult in that way, that she'll love something on Monday, and when Tuesday rolls around, she hates it.
That's insane.
Yeah, I can't get it back. I have tried the thing from TikTok where they're like, where you just tell your wife, hey, guess where we're going today? Guess where I'm taking you to lunch? And they go, 5 Guys? And you go, absolutely. I did that to her on the way home from a trip last time, and I did that, and she fell for it, and she's like, and she's like, wait a minute, are you doing that TikTok thing? I'm like, doesn't matter. We are going to Shake Shack,
As long as you land on where you're eating.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so good.
There's
nothing worse than
difficult.
ending up somewhere and someone does not enjoy the food experience.
You feel responsible.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, that's going to have to do it for our Aftercast. No, we got a meeting, and then we got to talk to Mr. Crowder.
We got so much
a lot of stuff to do today, and hey, it's good to be back, and thank you for being a potty.
Growing up in poverty has never been easy for children, but with the added challenges of the pandemic, conflict, and natural disasters, families around the world are facing an unprecedented food crisis. Unfortunately, those who are already hungry are now even more desperate. But by sponsoring a child through compassion, you can help provide life-sustaining essentials such as food and clean water. And with your compassionate support, that child can not only survive, but also flourish. You can find out how and choose a child to sponsor when you click on the compassion banner at wayfm.com.